Red Devils. This is your review to our Real Sociedad loss last night in the Europa League, and there is big news ahead of this weekend's Premier League action and next weekend's Premier League action, as it has been postponed. As we all know, the Queen Elizabeth II has passed on from the Red Devils. We say rest in peace, and all of our condolences are sent to the royal family and those affected by the loss. That being said, the games have been called off by the Premier League officially after meetings were held, but we'll speak about that in the video as well. So, subscribe to the channel. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Drop a like on the video, it does help, and I'm thankful for those who give support to the channel. So, we lose 1-0 to Real Sociedad, and let's be honest, we deserve to draw. Pathetic performances from quite a few players, and I will be speaking about them all. But the penalty that was given, dodgy, corrupt, match fixing, you name it, it was not a penalty. Everybody knows it, everyone has seen it, and it is a shocking state of affairs to know that even after VAR checked it, it was still given. The referee didn't even go to the monitor to check it. He was the one who gave the decision on the field as a penalty. But we all know it is not a penalty. And Ten Hag made the changes in the game. He brought in the likes of Ronaldo, Casemiro, Fred, Maguire, Lindelof, and we expected the team to win Real Sociedad. Surely. Elanga started as well. Even Anthony started again. And based on the team that started, we should have won. There's no excuses. But this shows why some of these players don't start for Erik ten Hag. This shows why our Premier League starting 11 is stronger than this team. And that has so many concerns because Casemiro is benched by McTominay. But it's clear to see why Casemiro is not starting yet. He still has to get used to. Of course, you can say with Varane and Martinez behind him, he will perform better. Because last night, he didn't have a very good game. Bad passes, not able to cover well. The left back of Real Sociedad did a beautiful turn and nutmegged him. And it looked like he wasn't on the game. But he did better in the second half. And like I said, the penalty was a dodgy penalty. Something that we have no control over. And even so, Real Sociedad didn't threaten us really. And after the penalty was scored, there was more than enough time, about a half an hour, for us to equalize and go on to win it. But the changes that were made at halftime put us at a disadvantage. Ten Hag took the low off and put on Martinez, and Lindelof was pushed to right back. That doesn't work. Wan-Bissaka was on the bench, but Lindelof cannot play right back. And I think Ten Hag kept Lindelof on for match fitness. So, bad decision there. He brought on Bruno, replacing Eriksen, but we didn't have anyone connecting from the midfield to the attack. There was nobody to play the ball to Bruno quickly so that we can attack. Ronaldo basically slowed down our attack at every opportunity. At one moment he had the ball in the net after a brilliant cross by Delo, a clinical header, but correctly ruled out for offside. Elanga was erratic. At moments he beats his defender, but then misplaces a pass to cut it back. It was a very, very, very concerning performance. But on the other hand, you look at it and you tell yourself, okay, we are in a rebuild. We don't need to worry about a 1-0 loss in our first Europa League game of the season. We go to play Sheriff Tiraspol next away. Whether that game takes place or not, we'll have to wait and see as we get closer to Thursday. But we still will qualify for the round of 16 in the Europa League. I don't think this loss to Real Sociedad was any concern in terms of worries, but it's a concern knowing that these players cannot start for Erik ten Hag. Now we know why Ronaldo doesn't start, because Rashford offers us that pace. Martial offers us that quick 1-2 and ability. Last night, he slowed us down. He tended to make a pass that was not necessary, but tried to re-get the pass in order to be at the end for the shot. He had opportunities, but just couldn't finish. And this is probably why you see Rashford starting. And Sancho coming on in the second half also did not do anything. Maguire, you can point at him for any mistakes, but he had an okay performance. There wasn't any moments where I could look at and say, you know what, he could have done better. He was okay. Martinez came on and again showed his quality. Yes, he was at fault for the goal and for the penalty, but it wasn't his fault. It's not a penalty. The ball hits his knee and then bounces up to his arm. That's not a penalty. The rule itself states that a penalty cannot be given if the ball is deflected from a body part first, then the arm. It cannot be a penalty. It is in the FIFA and the UEFA ruling. But the referee gave it, VAR gave it, and we were 1-0 behind. And we had moments that we could have equalized, but we didn't. And it seemed like just one of those games that was not to be for us. And it gave a huge perspective to Ten Hag on who is willing and who can play under him, who can be here. The rest will have to work harder. Maguire definitely won't be starting this weekend. And that's obviously because of the games that are being postponed. As I said, Queen Elizabeth did pass away late last night, and that in itself was an indication that the games might be cancelled. And after meetings held today by the government, by the sporting bodies and the Premier League, they have decided, in terms of respect for the Queen, they will postpone the games for this weekend and next weekend, which will probably be the Queen's funeral. That is good on the one hand in terms of any injuries we have, like with Martial, who can maybe come back and be fit for our next game. But on the other hand, it's also, in my opinion, unnecessary. How they're deciding not to have any sporting activities, and no matter how you look at it, you will have on the one hand people that are upset and annoyed that the games are called off, but on the other hand, you have people respecting the factor that it's called off because of the factor that the Queen was the one that passed away. So, official news, the games are called off. So we'll have to look ahead to Thursday perhaps as our next game. Maybe, maybe not, depending on what transpires over this weekend and in the coming week. But Real Sociedad didn't have any threat on us. And we basically could have done better, but didn't. And explains why the likes of Maguire, Lindelof, Fred, Anthony Elanga does not start. Ronaldo does not start for Ten Hag because he wants players with high energy, quality players. When Eriksen came off, we had nobody in midfield able to play that pass to Bruno, play that pass to our forward players to be quick on the attack. Fred couldn't, like whenever he got the ball, miscontrolled it and lost it. Casemiro was trying to cover Maguire. Delo was trying to do the same. Hence the reason why Ten Hag probably took him off. Martinez coming on brought a bit of bite into our defense, but he fairly brought a bit of solidity. But as I said, the dodgy penalty that was given made us lose the game. This is why some of these players cannot start. This is why we need a much better quality in terms of our squad. And this is why some of these players need to get more match fit so that they can perform to the standards that Ten Hag wants. Subscribe to the channel, please. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. And thank you for those who always join me and who always give support to the channel. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll speak again soon, Red Devils, when information does come our way. But, as I said, the game for the Premier League is postponed. We won't be playing Crystal Palace this weekend. We probably won't be playing next weekend because of the funeral of Her Majesty the Queen. But we are here as Red Devils, and whenever news drops, I will be speaking about it. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye, Red Devils.